Recording. This is take two. Presentation two. Resources and the forms and printouts to hand out. All right. My goodness me. So first of all, I'd like to welcome you back. And this time I'm presenting a proposal for a road safety policy. And this policy that I've been working on and drafting integrates travel safety into our safe systems of work. And the goal here is to protect workers commuting to and from work, and also personal and private travel outside of work, and during business hours in the delivery of their duties if they need to. So a quick statistic for you that as of the 20th of November 2025, there have been 1,000 deaths so far that have been recorded that have been attributed to road safety issues and accidents.
Is that all around Australia or just New South Wales?
It's Australia-wide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, which is pretty big. So before I get into the body of the presentation, I just want to do a little bit of housekeeping with you, and so I'll just take care of that now. So our emergency exit is through the front door, down a couple of steps here to the front, and our emergency assembly area is at the top gate at the end of the driveway there at the top. We have the bathroom down the hall there to the right that you're familiar with from your previous visits. And that's also on the list. Thank you very much. Perhaps I should have led with that one. Please ensure walkways are kept clear. And if I could ask that phones are kept on silent, please.
Sorry.
That's all right. We'll take
See?
care of that.
I feel my heart.
We are recording what I have to submit right now. Thank you. I appreciate that. I'm not doing it again. This is an interactive session, so please ask questions relevant to the topic of discussion, and that's encouraged. So what we want to focus on, and the focus of this, is to provide practical solutions for management's consideration. So that's why you are here. So why does this policy matter? First of all, it adds to our legal compliance and work health and safety obligations. And I feel that specifically the topic of travel and that kind of thing has been overlooked, and it's undervalued. And so I want to bring that into the forefront with the policy, and that's why I'm hoping for it to be adopted so that it can become part of our culture and it will fit seamlessly into our systems, our safe systems of work. And create a phrase of duty of care extends beyond the workplace. So just because you've finished at work at the end of the day doesn't mean that our duty is complete. We still care about what happens to you after that. We want to make sure you guys get home from work and then come back. This is one of the reasons I've been working on this topic, because I feel that it's very important and it's been a bit of a passion of mine. We're looking to, with the education, with implementing the policies, to have risk reductions, because with awareness comes, thoughtfulness and considerations and things like that. So we want people to start thinking about what they're doing behind the wheel. We want to look at reducing things like fatigue and distractions and speeding, that kind of thing, and promote and integrate a culture of safety with a holistic approach to the whole topic. We don't want to sound like we're beating it into folks. We actually want it interactive. We want people to participate in giving us feedback and ideas, and we want it to become a thing that we're known for. So some of the policy elements with commute safety, we're looking at planning trips, leave early. It's just really simple. It sounds easy, it sounds simple. I know people get caught up in their busy mornings and getting ready, and then that then leads on to a knock-on effect of mistakes being made, rushing and things like that. So we want to try and avoid that by educating people, creating this culture. Checking traffic and road conditions ahead of time. And also with the insistence on seatbelt safety. Some of the policy elements with regard to work-related travel is to follow and comply with the company rules. So that's coming up in the draft policy. Rest break every 2 hours on the long journey. So building upon the first discussion that we had to actually include and implement these into a real life workplace safety scenario with education, training, inductions and more. And definitely no mobile phone use while travelling, unless of course it's in hands-free or in Bluetooth, and that it's important enough to be able to do that. But try to avoid phone use as much as possible. So we're going to be writing all of these sort of conditions up in our policy. And to ensure that our fleet remains completely roadworthy. So our fleet is going through a workshop overhaul right now to ensure that our fleet is fully compliant so that we can implement this policy and know that we are compliant in every respect. Policy elements that include days off and personal travel. So again, we want to create headings such as don't drive tired or avoid driving while fatigued, and then list the reasons why. It seems pretty obvious, but a lot of people take driving for granted and they don't really think about it. It's an automatic thing that I've been doing this for years. But that kind of thinking creates a degree sometimes of complacency, and when you're tired, you tend to make mistakes. So the idea is to be well rested, and when fatigued, if you feel fatigue coming on, pull over and rest. Let someone know what's going on. Also avoid distractions. Again, reiterating the phone situation. However, distractions can be cyclists, people on motorbikes, pedestrians, that kind of thing. So avoiding driving tired is going to help you be more vigilant with regard to spotting those types of things and being aware and actually anticipating those things. And share travel plans with family and friends. So we're going to build upon the topics and the headings that we discussed in the first one and create a proper policy surrounding this. We're also looking with regard to perhaps mentioning some safety gear to, I guess, reinforce the idea of safety while driving, and that's going to be more of an introduction in the induction process and toolbox talks. So we're looking at reflective vests, helmets and things like that where relevant. So in a training scenario situation, beware of pedestrians or even workers on the side of the road. You want to show examples of what to look for, what kind of uniforms they're in, a cyclist with a reflective vest on, that type of thing, and show examples of that. We're going to also include a list of emergency contacts in the document, and also create possibly a handbook, a personalised handbook, where you can, as a worker in your vehicle or wherever you are, actually have your own personal contacts, emergency situation. If, for example, you are in a situation where that is needed to be accessed. But also emergency contacts for emergency services and for our higher management here at Geolots, who will need to be notified of any incidents. And a basic first aid kit. So not all of the vehicles, as we understand it, have first aid kits because it hasn't been deemed very necessary in the past, but we're going to have that included in all company vehicles, and we highly encourage private vehicles to have first aid kits included as well. So with regard to implementation strategy, so we're going to be looking at with regard to creating an induction module that would be approximately 10 minutes to discuss specifically road safety and how that pertains to GLOS Enterprises and moving forward, going home, that kind of thing, as we've touched on before. We're looking at creating posters, toolbox talks for awareness and putting them around common areas in the lunchrooms and motorsports. And we're looking at creating, possibly on a committee level, but annual risk assessments and reviews with regard to road travel and safety, things like that. And we're looking at encouraging a feedback loop from staff. So there'll be feedback forms and comment sheets and things like that that are interactive. And with regard to the toolbox talks, getting the feedback, getting the questions, getting the ideas, so that we can keep on top of improvements and better improve our systems with that. So at this stage, is there anything that you need to ask or?
Is with the first aid kits and so forth, is there going to be first aid training or more training?
Yes, good question. So the first aid officers that are in place currently now, so therefore, for example, if there's a incident in the buildings, so what we're planning on doing is creating teams where we have several first aid officers extra trained up, and also anyone who wishes to do first aid training or improve their skills or update their skills, we'll put that forward and create that list and get that done. That's a great question.
And just another one, the emergency contacts, will they all be loaded onto company phones?
So those that have the company phones will have the emergency contact file easily accessible. There is also going to be printed, which is what we've discussed, a palm-sized card, for example, about that size, that's going to be laminated and placed in every vehicle. So that's going to be accessible, both and printed and technology. For example, if for some reason the phone doesn't work and you can't retrieve that information, it's right there. So that's going to be made available. Okay, great questions, thank you. Is there anything else at the moment? Okay, that's great. So with regard to work health safety considerations, so I wanted to just touch on that, pause with the policy side of things, touch on that with this particular venue here. So moving forward, this venue probably won't be utilised any further because it's a situation where we're going to have bigger groups. So we'll be doing it in a group meeting area at the head office instead. So things like, as you know, mats and what have you, they will be removed from the scenario to make it a lot more safety conscious with regard to more meetings moving forward, because this is the initial introduction to the proposed policy. So moving forward, we'll gather larger groups. And so what I would like to do is just introduce to you feedback forms. This is a different feedback form to the first one, and this has more detail in it. And please feel free to, I've also emailed you guys a copy of it as well, which will then allow you to add extra comments and feedback as you wish. And I'll just give you one of those here at the moment while we're doing this. You don't need to fill it out immediately, but at your earliest convenience, that would be great. And so just regard to your current workplace practices with regard to driving to and from work, and when you do need to book out a vehicle to do business during working hours, is there anything that risks at the moment that you see in your current travel practices that you can immediately identify?
Seatbelt wear, phone usage.
Yep.
Big ones.
They are.
Speed
And that,
limits.
yes, definitely. So there will be headings of importance and priority. So we'll be drumming this home. All right. Now, what I have as well is just to... Do you have anything at all that you'd like to mention, or are you just happy to hear me out, and then perhaps, because I do invite at a later stage when you've had time to think about it, because I will email you guys, to then give me some feedback and what have you. You can email me back, and then we can nut out the finer detail. Yeah?
It's all good.
Okay. So, in closing then, what I would like to say is that road safety protects lives, and it strengthens our safety culture, which is where I believe this policy would have a huge impact in a really positive way on our workplace. And it's practical, it's easy to adopt, and it aligns with our obligations. And I think it's to create a culture of safety where it's encouraged and rewarded, with good behaviour is rewarded, then I think we can only go in leaps and bounds from there. So that's what I'm looking for, is for the management to have a think about it and let me know if that's something that they want to take on board. So I've already done most of the work. It just needs to be, honestly, needs to be implemented.
Yeah.
All right. So we're all good?
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you very, very much for coming in again and listening to the update. And I just wanted to build on the initial conversation to show that I have done a lot of work. And so I do have, very briefly, here it is. Now, they're not in order at the moment. However, there is a draft policy and a information handout sheet which will be attached, which is basically just a bullet point form of, wear seatbelts, do this, do that, follow the rules, that kind of thing, which will be an attachment for workers, so they don't have to read through pages and pages and pages. They can go, this is what I need to take care of. So that's for, that'll come through on email as well for you guys, and just, like I said, have a look at it, make the changes, send back your feedback, and we'll see what happens with the draft, and we'll refine it and get it implemented.
Perfect.
That's wonderful. So thank you very
Thanks.
much for your attendance today.
Some